Dear Indonesian colleagues, thank you very much for allowing me to greet you from my own parliament, the Mexican Cámara de Diputados. This is my home, this is my country. Also, I would like to thank you for this wonderful opportunity to commemorate the IPU 130th anniversary. This is proof of the continued and important role that the global organization of Parliament has played in the turbulent times of the past century, and that it continued to play into the 21st century. It also places a responsibility on us as parliamentarians to see humanity through the crisis the world is facing today and to seek effective and sustainable solutions. Over the years, the organization has witnessed the First and Second World Wars, the Cold War, how the climate has deteriorated, how we have been unable to look after our planet, and how we have failed to include everyone fully. Of course, humanity has achieved great things, but at the same time, important governance challenges endure, building a more inclusive economy, an economy that leaves nobody behind, and tackling poverty, which currently affects a large part of humanity. That is where our organization, on the brink of its 130th anniversary, must start writing the best pages of its history. We have to fight for peace, stability, and dialogue. We do this through parliamentary diplomacy, which is how the IPU has brought parliaments together most effectively. Threats are no less present today than in the past. That is why the world needs the IPU more than ever. The 46,000 MPs in our member parliaments represent almost everyone on this planet. We need to be capable of imagining how these 46,000 parliamentarians all over the world could do what we can achieve in terms of speaking with one voice, sharing objectives, harmonizing legislation, fighting to implement solutions, and making provisions for this work in our budgets. As the IPU marks its 130th anniversary, it is a time of both celebration and sober reflection for us as parliamentarians, a time to take stock of the strength of our institutions and what they have achieved, and to steel ourselves for the challenges ahead. The IPU's core mission is to promote parliamentary democracy, and on 15 September, we celebrated the International Day of Democracy. This means improving women's and young people's representation in Parliament. If we take a look to our own statistics within the IPU, we can see that only 24% of parliamentarians are women. And if we go to age, only 2.2% of the total parliamentarians around the planet are under 30 years old, while more than half of the total world population is having this same age. That is not democracy, that is not representation, and that is why we need to include women, we need to include youth, we need to make a fully democratic model of governance, and that starts from the parliaments. I would like also to thank Indonesia, because you have led many important discussions on climate change, on sustainable development. You have a very active delegation that is always bringing a very important voice to the IPU debates. We participate in the Inter-Parliamentary Union because we believe in multilateralism, because we are convinced that parliamentary diplomacy is the better approach to strengthening international cooperation, because we know that our delegations represent the political and social pluralism of our people, because we know that this institution has the power to transform the world and give results to future generations. I am fully convinced that if us, the 46,000 parliamentarians around the planet, decide to work in the same direction, we can transform those global agreements into local realities, and that's precisely the way to change the world. Dear colleagues, thank you very much for this opportunity of having me here today, far in distance, but present in heart.